Previously on Love on the Rocks.
So Jason had planned this long road trip through Colorado.
Like the lowest, it's -8. It's like swimsuit weather.
I, unfortunately, have always viewed challenge as failure.
We have decided to climb in the snow to 14,200. You know, mountains, you just never know. Sometimes they're hard, and sometimes they're impossible.
So, after some convincing, Tayler and Jason decided on their big goal, to summit 3 of America's most challenging peaks.
Oh, I hate missing summits, but we got some other mountains coming up, yeah?
We'll talk about it later.
That will require them to be in the best shape possible, as they'll be climbing them all in a month's time. And to accomplish all of this in their first year of marriage will bring its own set of challenges. Tayler loves adventure, but has to work past letting her emotions get the best of her. Jason loves pushing his limits, but has to know that his new wife Tayler is up for the challenge. In order to prepare for this trip, they head east on another trip, where they test their climbing skills and learn to trust their gear. It didn't take long for Jason to convince Tayler that a 10,000-mile-long road trip was a good idea. But before they can go anywhere, they'll need to gear up for all their planned activities.
See if this thing works.
Off to get coffee.
Wait, I thought we were gonna go to Arkansas.
After we get coffee.
I thought we were going mountain biking.
After we get coffee.
Unbelievable.
Today, Jason and Tayler make their way to Arkansas. They'll prepare for their 3 upcoming mountain summits by testing their physical and mental endurance. They'll hit the mountain biking trails at the Buffalo Outdoor Center, then head to Horseshoe Canyon for some climbing. Let's hope they didn't forget anything.
I have this strange personality thing where I really like things to be perfect. I want to get in the car at the right time, and I want to leave, and I want everything to be the way it was planned to be.
First hiccup of the road trip. We're 5 minutes in and Jason forgot the key.
I keep locking things to the hitch, which is so frustrating. It's safe because it won't get stolen, but then if I don't bring the key, then we have a piece of equipment stuck to the back of the Jeep the whole time, which is irritating.
So we're going back to the house to get the key.
I hate turning around.
I hate turning around.
I hate turning around.
I hate turning around. Do you know how much I hate turning around?
No.
Like you don't realize how much it makes me upset.
So anyways, we turned around, got the key, left the house, headed back east to Arkansas.
The first destination is just 2.5 hours away from home, making it one of the couple's favorite spots to explore. Arkansas offers beautiful scenery, top-rated mountain biking trails, and tremendous amounts of incredible rock climbing.
I feel like Arkansas is a really underestimated state. You go there and it is breathtaking. It has rivers and mountains and tiny towns that are really unique and eclectic. You kind of fall in love with this gentle beauty.
Our first destination was the Buffalo Outdoor Center. And actually, growing up as a kid, I spent a lot of time on the Buffalo River. It's actually one of the best memories that I have with my father was us canoeing on the Buffalo River.
All right, we got our first meal. What are you eating there?
It's
Almond
so
butter?
Good. Mm-hmm.
And for barbecue. Oh man, that's good barbecue. I mean, I was really hungry, but you know, it is good barbecue.
And the American flag in the background.
I'm a very patriotic barbecue eater.
The first thing on the agenda was mountain biking. We talked to Austin, who runs the Buffalo Outdoor Center.
So I grew up in the outdoors. I actually grew up about 5 miles from here. The Buffalo National River is a crown jewel for the state of Arkansas. Most people in this region have no idea it even exists.
So jumped on the bike, went down this trail, but he destroyed me.
So I just got down to the bottom where I'm gonna meet Jason and Austin after their ride. I'm just gonna chill here as they're off on their little adventure.
Believe it or not, Arkansas is a bit of a destination location for mountain bikers, with nearly 2,000 miles of trails.
It's a good thing I ate that barbecue sandwich.
Just waiting for Jason and Austin to come down.
In fact, Bentonville, Arkansas is known as the mountain biking capital of the U.S. But because the BOC has the state's highest vertical drop trail, the small town of Ponca now has their own claim to fame.
Austin had told me on the phone, he said, you know, we have like 1,300 feet of elevation drop. And I was like, no, I know what he's talking about. Because usually in the flat states, what they do is they add up every time you go up a hill and every time you go back down, they add that up and they're like, you know, 7 feet plus another 7 feet, that's 14 feet. And I'm like, did you mean I'm gonna get on my bike at X altitude and when I get off, I'm gonna be 1,000 feet lower than when I got on my bike? And he's like, absolutely. So I just got so stoked. I mean, I told him, I was like, man, the fact that this is 3 hours from home, we're gonna be back for sure.
You look pretty hot and sweaty.
Oh yeah, it was what, 7 miles almost?
6.8 miles.
6.8 miles. And you got all the terrain. You got the loose gravel, you got the incredible boulders and rocks and technical, you got packed dirt. It was stellar.
That's awesome.
Now what do we do?
So after mountain biking, we did ziplining.
And hopefully this is the most challenging part of the whole experience, but this is where we get to take mental note on who needs extra care and attention.
I remember the guide, he was like this really eccentric guy. He was hilarious. Like you could tell that he had told these jokes like on every tour, but somehow they were still hilarious.
That's all I'm going for is the chuckle. So.
The Buffalo Outdoor Center Canopy Tour opened in 2015, and unlike other zip lines, it's a 2-hour nature excursion where you zip from tree to tree. This zipline tour prides itself in showcasing the beautiful Ozark landscape, accompanied by the birds and other wildlife living around Ponca. Since opening, thousands of people have enjoyed the tour.
Feet up. Awesome. All right. How was it?
It was awesome.
I feel like one thing that I love about ziplining is you get to see the world from a completely different perspective. But what's really unique about ziplining is you get to do it with hysterical guides, and you're usually with a bunch of people, and it's this community event of you getting to zip through the trees, and you kind of feel like a monkey, which is really fun.
The zip lining at the Buffalo Outdoor Center is a canopy tour. It's not just like a point A to point B. It's like you're zipping from tree to tree to tree to tree. It's really fun.
Oh man.
How was that one?
That was awesome.
We're checking in.
So to get to your cabin, you are going to turn left on the driveway here.
Yes. I'll find it, I promise you.
Yeah, oh, I guarantee you will. I have faith in you.
It's kind of fun, you know, we got our hotel rooms and then we just see this wall, this vast wall of DVDs, like probably over 1,000 DVDs.
Have you seen this one?
No. All right, the reality is there's just a few things important to Tayler. What do you got there in your bag, Tayler?
I got a movie, a Snickers bar,
Yeah,
and the cheese is for Jason.
yeah.
We have popcorn! It's like my favorite thing in the entire world.
Oh.
Besides mushrooms and coffee, popcorn. And Snickers. I do love Snickers bars too.
We got done checking in, then we drove to our cabin. On the drive there, it was awesome. There were tons of different cabins, and I kept wondering which one was gonna be ours.
Oh my gosh, they're so cute.
And we kept driving back and back and back until it dead ends, and there was our cabin. And I'm not kidding you, it was like every Pinterest dream I've ever had come true in a little cabin tucked inside the woods.
You ready?
Oh my gosh. It's called the Valley Dream.
Look, it's got rocking chairs for us.
Oh.
Since we're old.
The girl said that this is the cabin that sees all the wildlife.
Oh, wow.
Are you kidding?
What? What?
Oh my gosh! It has a jacuzzi bathtub in it! Oh my gosh. Usually when you rent a cabin at a place like an outdoor place, it normally is like a cabin.
Yeah, you're like scared to use the bathroom.
You don't want to use the pots and pans because you don't know the last time they were washed.
Where are we?
We're at the Low Gap in Arkansas. We're gonna grab some grub. How was it?
Super good.
Here's coffee.
So, interesting thing about Tayler, she loves to cook, and I love that she loves to cook, and she's really good at it. The downfall is we operate in 2 different time speeds when it comes to cooking. I cook things in the fastest manner possible. But Tayler, honestly, like, her food tastes so good, but like, I can't watch because I feel like the amount of time it takes her to set up, like, I'd already be eating.
Just gonna tuck my hair into my clothing because I don't have a hair tie.
I guess it does kind of take me a while to cook things. I like to make things beautiful. I mean, I think that cooking is an art form.
I am my grandfather's daughter. I clean as I go. Granddaughter. I am my grandfather's granddaughter, not daughter.
So I just have to, just be cool. It's totally fine, just be cool. So I've been learning that, as we've been married.
Plates are ready.
Sweet, thank you.
Where'd you learn how to make eggs like this?
My mom.
Where'd you learn how to make eggs?
When I was a kid, if you didn't make your own eggs, then you went hungry.
That's probably not true.
Have I made you honey peanut butter yet?
No. You always have these things. Peanut butter. Honey peanut butter.
Honey peanut butter.
Anytime we're talking, you're like, have you had peanut butter yet? Have you had honey peanut butter? Get away.
Come on.
I'll make you more.
I want some almond milk.
I don't know how much.
And almond butter.
Almond butter?
So packing out, I try really hard to do as much of the packing as I can because it's so much equipment. And of course, obviously have places where things go, but Tayler's super organized as well, which is nice. So anyways, that morning I was packing things out, packing out.
Can you please get him out?
Why don't you like him?
Well, I just don't want to be stung mid-drive.
But I gave him a name. His name's Harry the Hornet.
You just get him out.
He's hungry.
Yeah, I don't like bugs.
Well, then give him some food, but get him out of the car.
I've found that most animals want to be friends with you. But if you're really kind to those insects, they're just another little friend.
I put some food on the chair for him.
It's only a few weeks until it's time to head west to climb the Grand Teton, Mount Baker, and Mount Whitney. These much larger climbs will require Tayler and Jason to push themselves both physically and mentally. And there's no better place to practice these skills than Horseshoe Canyon Ranch.
We headed towards one of our favorite spots. It is where we met. We went out with a group of friends and Jason taught me how to leaf climb. So we're meeting up with some of our friends, Jess and Jacob Hightower, and then we all drove to Horseshoe Canyon. And I love driving into Horseshoe because it is beautiful and there's tons of animals. So we found a camping spot, that was our first step, and we headed out to the crag.
Rock climbing has long been a part of an explorer's way to summit a looming peak in mountaineering. However, in the 1880s, climbing a wall of rock became its own athletic accomplishment. Walter Perry Haskett Smith is often known as the father of rock climbing. His biggest achievement was in 1886 when he climbed Nape's Needle, a sharp rocky outcrop on the Great Gable Mountain in England. Ever since then, rock climbers have been breaking records and pushing boundaries to make it to the top of these walls. There are many different types of rock climbing: top rope, bouldering, aid climbing, trad climbing, sport climbing, and of course, free soloing. This is outdoor sport climbing. These routes will usually have bolts drilled into the rock, and climbers will use quick draws to clip into the bolts as they progress. In sport climbing, there are 2 roles, the climber and the belayer. When both roles are properly geared up and prepared, the climber can start their ascent, while the belayer anchors the climber from the bottom. Safety is of utmost importance here, so don't follow Jason's example. Clear communication between both people is vital to a successful climb. When Jason and Tayler attempt to climb their 3 mountain summits, any miscommunication on the climb could result in something catastrophic.
Nice job, Jason.
Oh my gosh, dude, I almost fell twice. See if I can run this thing.
Glad that didn't happen.
It was kind of fun when we got there. Got a chance to talk with Barry. Barry's actually the guy who owns the place. It's a private ranch, but when you go there, you know, it feels very much like a national park. It's this really beautiful little section of land, and it's got over 400 established climbing routes, which is insane.
Yeah, it's closer to 500 now, but yeah, the rock climbing, I'd like to say it was all part of my grand master plan, but it wasn't. We wanted to do some rappelling with our ranch guests, found some rock climbers. They said, wow, this is great. Do you mind if we put up a few routes? And then it just kind of evolved.
We jumped on this climb called the Green Goblin. Super fun. You know, one of the activities that in multi-pitching is, you know, the leader climbs up, and then they anchor themselves in, and then they set up the second climber, and they belay the second climber up to them. I love bringing people up. It's just a blast.
When I got towards the top of the climb, I recognized that Jason was kind of in the path of where I wanted to go, and the only way to actually top out was to go between his legs.
This is a special couples moment.
This is an interesting couples moment.
So a typical guest ranch week, we do have people from all over the Midwest, different parts of the United States. Do a lot of horseback riding, obviously. Rock climbing's a big draw. And Via Ferrata, it's Iron Way in Italian. It's kind of like a outdoor jungle gym for adults is how we describe it.
And you know, we did a Via Ferrata, you know, recently in the Royal Gorge in Colorado. This one was completely different, but also really, really cool.
Is that for the zip line?
This is for the zip line.
That's rad looking. It's like a
full body.
It's like a freaking squirrel suit.
We are hiking in to the Via Ferrata. What do you think, Tay?
I'm excited. I didn't realize we were doing a Via Ferrata.
Yeah, you know, why not? They have one.
The thing about Tayler that's funny, she's got such exaggerated feelings, which is awesome. I know that we had a moment there where she realized that we were gonna do that cable line.
This one had a tightrope walk, kind of, which I was not. I thought they were kidding when they pointed out the bridge.
She thought I was kidding, and I'm like, no, that's what we're doing.
I thought that was a zip line.
No. You're good.
Let's go.
That's stupid. No. Are you serious?
Yeah. We'll be tethered, it'll be right.
Hey, I saw your name on the list. You signed up.
That's not a thing.
It's a thing.
No. I thought it was a zip line.
She thought I had hidden this from her and jumping this terrible, mean idea on her that she didn't know about.
So when I found out that was actually the bridge that we were walking across, yeah.
Hey, Tay, you got any last words?
I don't hate you. I love you. This is terrifying. You did this.
Yep. Okay. So reason why it's...
Woo! All right, y'all. Overcoming fears.
Got it.
I didn't know if I wanted to do it. You're on this thin little line with 2 clips beside you, and you have to walk across that line that's over this canyon. And, yeah.
Hey, did you see my chin-ups I did for you?
Yeah.
Woo! Oh, man.
So I committed to it.
Heck yeah.
And I'm really happy I did. It was an exhilarating experience and a stunning experience.
It's a little sketchy, I'm not gonna lie, but made it seem like I wasn't scared at all.
Horseshoe Canyon Ranch is beautiful. On the Via Ferrata, you had this overlook, bird's eye view of the entire valley, and it was spectacular. And you also had an adrenaline rush going, which was an added bonus.
So after you test and make sure the line's working, then we'll go.
That's my job, man. You know, sometimes you feel like you're on the edge,
Yeah, or observed it. That's
and that might be a scary feeling, but then you just have to step off into the unknown.
Oh, Jason!
The Iron Horse is the highest, fastest, and longest zip line in Arkansas. It goes a half mile in length and drops 277 feet into the beautiful Horseshoe Valley.
Ziplining was so much fun. I was just flying through the air like, ah! Oh, yeah!
We finished the Via Ferrata and zip-lined back to the main lodge. It was amazing. You feel like you're flying when you're on this thing. It goes so fast. I think it goes upwards of 50 miles an hour.
Okay, so this is amazing.
You're doing this exhilarating, adventurous thing, but you're also kind of being able to relax and take in the views around you and just have fun and let loose and scream, and it was awesome. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. Making some skewers. Our butter looks fantastic.
We got the fire started. We made some good dinner, and then we busted out some s'mores. Jessica had brought some s'mores, and it was funny because they were actually vegan marshmallows, which I'm not vegan, but I have no problem with vegans, but it doesn't mean that occasionally I don't want to make a little vegan joke because I don't know how to help myself, but I'm sure I'll learn to not do that someday.
So that's a chocolate nugget, and that is an artificial marshmallow.
An artificial marshmallow.
Look at the browning.
It's caramelized.
A little bit of caramelization right there.
Of course, with every camping experience, you have to throw in a flashlight dance party.
S'mores.
Little did they know, nothing.
He was going, s'mores.
Next time on Love on the Rocks.
I love when Jason gets to reminisce on childhood memories because I don't feel like he does it very frequently.
That wagon wheel has been friggin' sitting there for 30 years.
And when I stepped on the campus, it was almost like a little nudge from my dad of this is where you're supposed to be.
I notoriously pick things that are very difficult. Luckily, Tayler, she's still on board. That's why we make a great team.
Please don't make me do that.
Now, if you've never heard of the Crescent Hotel, look up most haunted hotels in America.
And there's this room where the doctors used to do the surgeries on the cancer patients that had died.
And that was where he would store the bodies.
In here?
Yeah.
And this was legit. This was legit and weird. Let's go, Tay.
Oh, seriously?
Close my eyes, you're looking back at me. As real as autumn air, I take and breathe. Try as you might, but you